Good afternoon, esteemed dignitaries and participants, and Dr. Pathak for giving this nice introduction. So I thought I will take this opportunity to talk about the agribusiness challenges and opportunities, what has happened and how does COVID give that opportunity to this business. The agribusiness always existed in this country, although we don't give that relevant reason to exist, because we were always talk commodities when it comes to agribusiness. But end of the day, value creation has been made by agriculture, and today, as we go along, I think we will see much more value creation. And I think COVID, even though it's a negative COVID, is bad news, is a good news. I think it is also good news for agriculture. So let me tell you a little bit about the positive news in May. We have been hearing negative news about economy going down and GDP going down, business being bad. Yes, true. In some of the industries which has been closed down, like hotels, travels, and basically a lot of industries of that sort where people are getting together, marriages, all that has been impacted. A large chunk has been impacted and is now opening up, and it will take some time to really normalize. But in the meanwhile, some flicker of good news has definitely come in. One is definitely in agriculture space, which people are not talking about. Fertilizer sales in the month of May has been 25% over last year. Tractor sales are up by 2-3%, which means is the momentum is building up. And the interesting part, I would say, is about Parle biscuit, which is basically a raw material converted into a brand. Last year, they were talking about asking people to go, and in May, they said that they had the highest ever sales in their lifetime due to COVID. So the positiveness of this impact of COVID is definitely in agriculture. It's one of the things which possibly will drive some of the things of the economy as we go along. So in life, we say some somatic markers. So what is somatic marker? If you look somatic marker, which is one which impacts us. Today, if you ask somatic marker, if I say Taj Mahal, people will immediately say it's India. If I say Eiffel Towers, people will still say it is India. Similarly, if I talk mango, as someone was talking, it is either Alfonso mango. So once I say Alfonso, it is Indian mango. So people have, these are some of the brands which become larger than life. And once you tell a mango or something, a brand name, people start recognizing that. This COVID-19 is a negative somatic marker. And it has given us a point of market entry and has resulted in several behavioral changes. And it has really profound behavioral changes. What are these behavioral changes? The new behaviors, these changes happen once in a lifetime. We had talked about economic changes, which has happened maybe in 1920s. Whenever there is economic crisis, there's a war, the behavior of people changes. This COVID-19 is very unique, which nobody has anticipated, and it's a common across the world. We are in all the news, whether it's news on business news, whether it's normal news, whether it's newspaper, the first headline is about COVID-19. The total deaths, how many people have recovered, what percentage recovery. And we are discussing in our WhatsApp message, which has become a part of our life and schedule today. In every message, you'll find some message coming about COVID, about how to fight it, how to go about managing it, how to build immunity. So we, as a result of this COVID, which is unknown as a virus, till we get a suitable vaccine, we will have to live with it. And people are now trying to find solution how to be immune. So our habits have changed. We have learned to stay 90 days inside the home. We still talk about our health. We never bothered about health so much. Today we are talking about drinking juice, drinking lemon juice, drinking all the medicines, buying things which will enable us to keep healthy and fight this immunity. Of course, a lot of people say that our immunity is much better because of the things we eat from the kitchen ingredient, which has been a part and parcel of our food habits. So this COVID, which is change of a lifetime, has given us the opportunity to new business opportunities. And a lot of business which didn't exist in past has of life and new business coming back. So I will keep focused on agriculture but like webinar across Zoom, which was nobody knew about it today. Zoom, other webinar process has become a part of our daily life. Work from home, all these are part from cooking, discussions, all that has become like this. So we have become so in this, basically what has happened, we see emerging consumer needs. This is a AC Nielsen thing. We see health and hygiene offerings have become more. Sanitizers, which nobody bothered today, everybody talks sanitizers. Health portfolio, what you take, what you to build in immunity, and a lot of focus on e-commerce because people are wanting delivery without contacts. So, and there is a lot of involvement of portfolio changes, innovation has happened, and we see a new way to delivery. There's way people are connecting in WhatsApp to delivery within community. They're connecting through their own direct commerce, whatever they do, and do delivery at home through their mobile phone. So a lot of things have changed in the last, I think, 80, 90 days. And that 70, 80 days is good enough for a habit change. At the same time, government has given a lot of support, like my previous speaker was talking about, how it has changed the rules of the game in agriculture. And that points toward changes that is going to come in a big way. Organized farming, all those, selling, all that will become a big part of the business module, which is going to emerge in next few days, next few years, maybe not in next few days, but next few years. And these changes are good for the country like India, which once upon a time was agriculture based, and still is. A lot of agriculture has happens across. We are big in many manufacturing, but the lot of damage in transit happen as a result. The product doesn't reach at consumable levels and wastages happen. And with this support and with these things, I think the way marketing will also change. And how that will change, we are seeing first is, let me talk about the shifts in consumer behavior. Consumers are becoming bearish on discretionary spends in the coming months because they know their salary has been cut, the salaries are not clear, whether they get the money is in time, they're not clear about it. So a lot of people dependent on incomes are having challenges. As a result, they are will be very, very careful on discretionary spends, but they will definitely focus on building health, hygiene, immunity, and that is getting embedded in their behavior. Even with simple person like me, I'm today waking up in the morning, having my lime juice, having my fruit juice, and ensuring that I do my share of exercise to animal meal to build my immunity. The third element is technology. Technology or digital is going to act as catalyst for convenient, enhanced consumer and safe experience. So when you order that today a food, people say who has prepared, what is the temperature of that person who has prepared. So everything comes along with that. So you want less number of people to come in contact with the product that is reaching homes. We are all aware of face masks, or other masks which all people are wearing. All those has become part of our life because people want safe experiences. And these are also translating into business opportunities for many ways for people to come. So when I come back to agriculture, what I see as agriculture opportunities definitely in the health products. One is the building immunity care, which is even you take the home ingredients. Today, if you open the TV, everybody talks about turmeric as one of the biggest ingredients, as if it has been discovered only recently. We have been eating our generations, and today it has become the biggest sort of immunity booster because it has curcumin and all other things. So people are talking about those ingredients, other healthcare ingredients which are grown naturally in this country. So we find, I think this will be one space which agriculture will definitely grow big in coming months because people will want to be immune to all these unknown viruses and want to be healthier and live a good life. The second is agriculture at home because people want to grow. Today, people want to feel safe. They want to be safer in what they eat, what they take, and if they want to grow. So these are opportunities which will arise. And I feel this will what will also come in as a big way in coming months. So we will see innovations in this category. Today, even Amul is talking about milk with turmeric. We see infused honey. People never used to take so much honey as much it has happened during this COVID crisis. In everybody's home, honey must have gone in. So it has dramatically changed the habits of what you used to have. Tea with honey, even with any other product, lime with honey. So the infused product with honey, fortified foods will become a big thing. So the science has moved from basic product to innovative product, which gives solutions to people health. Herbal Ayurvedic, we all know, has grown tremendously. The businesses which were there will grow much more than what it was in so many years. Healthcare, quality branded consumption, because people don't want to get caught on open products. They will look for packaged branded products to feel safe, because at the end of the day, safety is becoming very, very important for people. And if they are packaged well, then it is taken through the journey of delivery, and then people get it safe in their home. People feel safer in what they're consuming. So all that will happen. Online e-commerce, whether it is small e-commerce, even of the Amazon of this world, individual e-commerce, localized e-commerce, all that is going to happen. Whether they use WhatsApp model, whether they use the e-commerce web model, whether they use the phone. Today, there are more than 50 crore smartphones in this country. As smartphone increases, and a lot of net is increasing because data consumption is going up. So as and when this consumption is going up, we'll see growth of e-commerce coming in bigger and bigger. And as and when people get comfortable to the idea of buying through e-commerce, I think this corona has taught people that e-commerce is also a good, viable possibility. So if you understand that business model, I think it also will help agribusiness in that way to serve the customers. I think local brands will become bigger because people will know the local requirements and service them well. And fourth, and the last element we also see that is likely to happen in marketing is increase in rural consumption. A lot of people have migrated back to their hometowns, and definitely we will see a lot of consumption shifting to rural consumption. The agribusiness will require few things much more. One is, of course, the brands. This shift to new business model, which is till the end consumers, and innovation within the ecosystem. And the third element will be the digital thinking. You can't do marketing anymore to the old model. Today, webinar, people are getting competencies. Even education has become household. I remember when we tell our children in past, please don't spend more than half an hour in your phone. You used to keep it locked. Today, all classes are happening in mobile phone. Classes are happening in computers. People are getting used to that model. And that is also it's driving a behavior change. If that is becoming the behavior change, it means it is leading to digital thinking. As and when digital thinking happens, consumers are much more used to do digital business through digital. So how business has pivoted. One is health. How many proof of safety you can give? That I was talking about the example of temperature, the packaging, the cover you are giving, is it antibacterial? So all that stuff people will start asking as we go along, because till we get a solution to this, or if there's any other virus mutation that happens, we will definitely look at health as very important paradigm of our life, and we cannot avoid looking at health as a key parameter of all the business decisions that is going to happen to us as we go along. Second is digital. How much less contact you have? Of course, today we see people going out because culturally we move around. We like to be with people. But because we have been locked down 80, 90 days, we are trying to move around. The marriage has been controlled. But end of the day, if another round of some disease happens, people will be even more careful about movement. We don't know what is going to happen on 16th of this month, whether they extend the further lockdown and they control lockdown in a place like Mumbai, where 30% of the country's COVID cases are from Maharashtra. So how do you manage that and stop and manage this impact of COVID? So till the herd immunity we talk about, we don't know to what extent people's lives will not be impacted, and death, which is the final result, how that will going to be managed. As of now, we are fortunate that 2.8% of the COVID infected people is only resulting in death. So this is somewhat controllable, which could be many reasons. It is not a great thing to have death, but today hospitals, even as 2 months back, we wouldn't have been prepared for that. Today, we are much better prepared. Still, we are being challenged as every day, 12,000, 13,000 people are having the COVID infection. Trust. How do you build trust on your brands? How do you trust on your product? And people will start thinking, how do we give back to society? Because this is what it is. It's not about you alone. When you are caught in this world of being in a room, then you start thinking what more you can do in your lifetime. So what value you can add, how can you build new ecosystem to enable the business? So tools which are really enable this, if you look at one end is the factory or the agriculture production center. At the center is the tools which have become our primary factor in our life, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, web, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest. And this is the space where people today live quite a lot. And if this is the world they live, that's with the route to market as we go along. And these tools have to be understood by marketers and business people, how to enable them to reach the customers. So what is a brand? Brand is a set of expectations and memories. If the consumer is willing to pay a premium, make a selection and spread the word, if they do, then it is a brand. If they don't do, then there is no brand value exists in the mind of consumer. So if you want value, whether it is from commodity to brand, we need to create value in the minds of your target consumers. So I'm going to give you two brief examples of tell you why we need business in marketing for agri products and how COVID is going to speed up this marketing. 24-hour organic mantra, which was done, basically they had done a beautiful way of building a 500 crore business of organic food. It did by having a great brand name, had certification behind it, used all the digital tools to build a brand, to get in touch with their consumers. And they did through distribution through own outlets first, then they made availability in the big stores. And today it is distributed across the country. They have done very big ecosystem. There are more than 50,000 plus farmers and large land tracts under contract to enable this organic farming. And they have, by building this trusted brand in local, then they have now been able to go global. And today more than 50% of the business is global. Another brand which I can really tell you is a simple brand of a simple product. It is Idli dosa. So Eid is a brand which was planned in 2005, created in 2005 on a very basic product. It's idli paste to make idlis and idli powder to make dosas. A simple concept which is always available in the household, how they made today a 200 crore business in last 15 years. So crafted good branding. The first tested in this model in small town, and they kept the quality consistent and brought in innovation, whether it's coffee, parathas, and all those stuff, just heat and eat. And they're a great team. So how does business is built and persistent? They persisted over 15 years. What we can do in 1 year is very limited, but what we can do over 15 years is much larger. Today, it's a 200 crore business, and they're expanding across the country. So small localized brand, if you do a great job in terms of branding and getting your hypothesis out and keeping quality food products, innovations, and having a right team and right distribution, will really build a big brand. So if I add this success of these concepts of these two to the future, what is agribusiness entrepreneurs need to do in this COVID time, which is a wonderful opportunity to build a big brand. It just needs a great idea, not necessarily it should be fantastic out of world idea. I gave the example of idli dosa. It's a very common product. So a basic idea converted into a great business. So a good idea, define a niche market where consumers are willing to pay for removal of the pain points. If we're able to do that, it is a great opportunity to build a brand. Of course, you will need storytelling, what you are going to do, all that can be done through digital. The cost of building a brand compared to what was earlier is become much more lower, provided you will do a great job in identifying your market, creating your brand, and creating your business. And of course, you'll now know how to reach them at a cost so that you're profitable. And once you get a limited profile of your customer surrounding and testing your hypothesis, whether it is any time, you just need to repeat the model and get it done. I think this thing about digital being the key driver, understanding the market, giving a great product, and I think in agriculture especially, when today we have product produced in terms of commodity to a branding in future, because consumers will buy brands because they will believe one is the trust point, one is the value which is being added, and these few reasons when you look at, I think that what will help the survival of business in coming years, and also creation of many local brands in this country. So that was my last chart in this whole presentation. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk on this webinar, and I really feel grateful to getting this opportunity to talk to so many people and being a part of this journey discussion on agribusiness marketing. Then I try to keep it as short as possible to tell you the story as to how brands are going to evolve in next few months or next 1 year, how COVID will enable this growth of business, and how agriculture will be on the forefront of this opportunity, how market economy will be driven by agriculture at least in next 1 year. And if people who are in this business will take this opportunity to build businesses around this category. Thank you so much.